Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's me. It's the OG. We are right back where we left off. I unfortunately my software doesn't let me know how long I'm recording, so I just felt like I was babbling forever. It turns out it was pretty close to an hour. And so I thought, well, I've been talking way too long, and I thought there was a lot more of the chapter left. Turns out there really wasn't. So let's just finish off chapter 14 real quick because it leads right into chapter 15, which is drawing lines between pixels. Lines. And this looking at myself in the mirror thing here is very confusing. So the last program that the computer wanted us to do, or the book wanted us to do, I want to save this real quick too. I'm going to save this as border, whatever. I'm going to save this as a program called border. All right, so I'm going to delete lines 30 through 100. I'm going to list, so now I have lines 10, 20, 5, 10, and 20 that are the same in this little program here. But it asks us to do a do-it-yourself thing here. It says, do you remember the random command? If so, review it and do that short program. Then it says the last point. Before you finish this chapter, we want to make one more point. You can use p-point to find out what color any dot on the screen is. Okay. So p-point is a way to look at a pixel and know what color it is. In order to do that, you have to specify the H, which is a horizontal, or the x-axis, and the Y, which is the vertical axis. So it says in this example shows how to p-point can be handy to include in a program. So let's try it right now. So we have p mode 1, 1, PCLS screen 1, 1. So 30 x equals random 10. 35 y equals random 10. 40 c equals random 8. Those are our 8 colors. 50 we're going to PSET x comma y comma c. So we're going to pick a random number between 1 and 10, which is going to be over here. And in this little box here in the corner, we're going to put one single random pixel in a spot with a random color. Now line 60 says, if p point 5, 5 equals 8, then go to 105. Line 70 is going to say go to 30, which is going to continuously pick random numbers and random colors. Okay. Line 105 is going to clear the screen. Line 110 is going to say print at 100, comma, position 5, 5 is now orange. So let's look through the program and let's try to step through the process here. Line 5 sets the graphic screen. So P mode 1 is the low resolution mode. 1, 1. I don't remember what we have to do 1, 1. I know the screens do this. I think there might have been okay, I'm confused on the 1, 1, but that's fine. All right, PCLS clears the screen. Screen 1, 1 sets it to a high resolution screen with color palette 1, which is the higher order colors. Color palette 0 would be the low order colors. X and Y are coordinates over here, 10 pixel box over here in this corner. C is going to be a random color, and we're going to set it. So we're going to continuously put random dots. What line 60 is doing is it's looking in the dead center of that box. It's looking at 5 over, 5 down, and it's waiting for that pixel to be filled in with the color orange, which happens to be color 8. So the computer is going to randomly place random pixels with random colors on the screen. The minute that one particular pixel turns orange, it's going to go down to the next line that's going to clear the screen back to text and put a message on the screen saying the color is now orange. Boom. It happened so quickly, you couldn't even tell that it happened here. So let's run it again. You can kind of see pixels are filling in the top left-hand corner here. This time it's running a lot longer, and then boom, it finally happened. It looked like a little snake chasing its tail. But the command is called p-point. And we're basically scanning the color of a pixel to see what it is. And I use this in BASIC to make games to determine when I would crash into something. So whatever thing I was moving on the screen, I would have to scan around it looking for colors on the outside of this object to determine if I had quote unquote collided with something. So one of the earliest games I wrote was like a little snake game where you're drawing a line and you're getting bigger and you have to not crash into yourself. And the easiest way to know when you crashed into yourself was to check the color of the pixel in front of you to know if or where you were. Before you set the pixel, check the color of that pixel. If you happen to land on a place that's got a color, you've hit something. So you can use P-point to scan the color and determine what that color is, and that's very useful in gameplay to know when you have crashed into something or when you're near something of a certain color. Like if you wanted to play a game where you moved your joystick around and click on all the objects that are yellow, you could then say, all right, well, let's look at the P-point of this object. If it's yellow, then yes, you clicked on yellow. So that's the last part of Chapter 14. Chapter 14 introduced us to PSET, preset, P-point. So PSET was a command that sets points, preset resets the points, and then P-point is finding a point's color. Now we move on to Chapter 15, which is called Hold That Line. Now we are going to learn about the line command. So, I'm an idiot. I just deleted the program. I guess it wanted me to add on to that program. Holy crap. There is no undo. I am a freaking idiot. Let me load in at least, or just load border. And then I'm going to delete line 40 through 100. I'm going to re-enter this real quick. I'm going to say 30 x equals random 10, 40 y equals random 10. That was freaking, okay, 35 y equals random 10. So hard to read this on this little screen here. 40 c equals random 8. 50 PSET x comma y comma c. 60 if P point 5 comma 5 equals 8. Then go to 105. 70 go to 30. 105 CLS 110 print at 100. Position 5 comma 5 is orange. I'm shorthanding that. All right, so we're going to run this. This is 35. Okay, 35. Syntax error. Y equals random 10. Run. There's our little stupid pixel crap. Okay, position 5 comma 5 is orange. Actually, that centers a hell of a lot better too. Let's save this as pixel crap. All right, that's what that one's called. Now, as we move on to Chapter 15, hold that line. Now it says change line 30 as follows. So I'm going to list out the program. 30 says x equals random 10. Okay, so 30, we're going to say line 0 comma 0, which is top left-hand corner, through 255 comma 191, which is the bottom right-hand corner. So we're going to go here, here, and work our way down over to there, right? Comma PSET, line 35, enter to get rid of that. Let's list the program. It says your program should now read. Well, my program reads a lot more than that. I still have all this other crap. I still have this P-point stuff. So, dude, all right, so it doesn't want me to, it just wants me to have line 40 go to 40. That was a previous program. Dude, you're really, really screwing with me right now. That program was my random pixels, right? Wasn't it? List. Okay. I don't know what the heck. This is my program. All right, you know what? Screw it. Let's just type it the way it has it in here. Okay, 5 P mode 1, 10 PCLS, 20 screen 1, 1, 30 line 0, 0 through 255, 191, PSET, line 40, go to 40. All right, 40, go to 40. What is this program doing? Setting the P mode, clearing the screen, turning on the graphic screen, drawing a line across the screen in a diagonal direction, and then just looping on itself here. Let's run it. Boom, there's the line. And because we're using the low resolution graphics mode, you can see the pixels, you can see the kind of jaggedy, staircasey look of this. But that's the line command. What does the line command do? You start off with two different coordinates on the screen. You start off with the, we'll call it the upper left, and then the bottom right, or wherever. You just pick 2 points on the screen, a starting point and an ending point, and it will draw a line between those points as neatly and as straightly as it can. And it says here that when you run the program, the screen should display an orange line that runs from the upper left to the lower right on a buff background. How about changing the direction of the line so it runs from the lower left to the upper right? So in order to do that, we changed line 30. So line 30 now is going to go from, so right now 0, 0 is all the way up here. 0, 191 would be down here. And then the other corner becomes, as I'm trying to trace my finger here, becomes 0 on the Y and 255 on the X. So we're kind of flip-flopping the coordinates here. So we're going to start at 0, 191. And we're going to go to 255, 0, PSET. So now when I run this program, the line goes the other way, right? And if I would have kept them both, I could have had this, right? Which I think is the next thing the book's going to do for us. It says X marks the spot, right? So what about intersecting lines? Okay, reinsert the original line 30, you son of a biscuit. And that drew over the first line. First renumber it as line 25, right? So the original line 30, which we're going to now do as line 25, is line 0, 0 through 255, 191, PSET. List, run. Okay, boom. We've got an X. We've got an X. Okay, so we have now just put an X on the screen. Now, here's our bonus program. Let's do this. Let's create random coordinates and random colors, and let's draw some lines. All right, so we're going to delete 25 through 40. All right, so list. Okay, so line 30. Okay, X1 equals random 256 minus 1. X2 equals random 256 minus 1. 40. Y1 equals random 192 minus 1. Y2 equals random 192 minus 1. What does this give us? It gives us between 0 and 191. Line 50, C equals random 8. Okay, line 60 is going to say line X1, Y1 through X2, Y2, C, PSET. That should do it if I remember. 70 will go back to 30. Nope, I've screwed something up on the colors. Remember this. Reset the original line and draw the first line. Remember that at line 25? Yes, 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 yes. In fact, you can put as many lines in the screen as you want once you learn the format, and here it is. So it's H1, V1, H2, V1, comma A, comma B. What is A is either the PSET or reset. And B is box or colored. You may omit the starting point as discussed. So A is the PSET or reset, or preset to reset. And then B is box or box filled. You can omit the start point as discussed below. How do we set the color of a line? There is a way to set the color of a line, to box or not to box. I'm going to fill it in. Color. That might be what it is. Okay, I think it's the color command. All right, so 60 is going to have to say color C, and then line. Let's just redo that. I don't feel like typing. Okay. Edit 60. I'm going to say Okay. Okay, let's go back here. Insert color C colon enter. Okay, edit 60. Comma PSET. 99D to delete, comma PSET. Insert PSET. What is that going to say? Okay, so line 60 is now going to change the color to the color that we choose, and then we'll draw the line. Let's see if that works. I'm getting ahead of the book here just a little bit, but here we go. Yes. So now what I'm doing, I knew there was a way to specify the color of the line. I thought it was part of the line statement. So I'm picking two random coordinates. I'm picking a random color, and then I'm drawing a line between those coordinates. And you can have a lot of fun with this. Some of the earliest things I did was just doing random dots and random sounds and just playing random tones while I'm putting random things on the screen. It's kind of a cool way to impress yourself, impress your friends, drive your parents crazy. So I have just demonstrated that with the line command, you can randomly draw lines. You can also do a for next loop and have it draw sunbursts and make it draw all kinds of weird, cool things, patterns and designs and stuff. So because I'm having it pick random colors, it will sometimes pick white, which is the background color. So every now and then it will erase a line as well. So kind of cool, right? So we're drawing lines. That I kind of went off book and just started doing that. So let's go back to the chapter. And again, it's saying here, here's the format. So when you do a line, you have your X and Y coordinates of your starting point, your X and Y coordinates of your ending point, and then you have two other options. You can do a PSET, which will set it as a foreground color that you have to specify using the color command, or you can do a preset that will erase it to the background color. And then you can also do a comma B, which would then draw it in as a box, and you can do comma BF, which will do it as a box fill. So for example, if I edit line 60, go to the end, insert, and do PSET comma B, and I run it now, instead of drawing lines, it's drawing boxes. And so now it takes those two corners and it draws them as boxes. And so that's a whole different visual, right? And this is now kind of like a screensaver almost, just a weird computer animation thing. So you can either connect the dots as a line, or you can box the dots by doing comma B for box. Does it get better? But wait, there's more. If we do, and I edit 60, 99 space, go to the end, insert an F for box fill. Now it will do a comma BF, box fill. So now when I run it, it's actually painting in those boxes with the colors. And it's a little slow, right? The ability to draw in a box and make that box solid, it takes the computer a little time to do this. But it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool that right now you've written a very small program to generate random images and random graphics on the screen. I think it's pretty cool, right? And so this is something you can do as you're learning how to program, as you're learning how to do graphics, is to take these commands and learn what to do with them. The thing that I guess I was lucky about, because I wasn't a super smart student. I was a C student at best. I wasn't, and I hated math, right? But for whatever reason, when I read this book, things just kind of made sense. Things kind of clicked. I kind of grasped it. And if you can grasp these concepts and grasp these commands and understand what these commands allow you to do, and you can kind of take some ownership over this, you're now basically building a vocabulary, and you take this and this is how you write your own programs. And so, you know, I never finished computer science as a career. When I went to college for programming, my head was ready to explode. So the people who are real programmers, I have a lot of respect for them, because I can't handle it. But when it came to doing BASIC as a kid, I still look back even now and I'm kind of impressed at the things I was able to do, because I had a good working knowledge of the language, and I didn't need to look at a book on how to write a program. I know a lot of people mention how they used to like to type in programs from the Rainbow magazine. I was, quite frankly, just too lazy to type things in. There was only once or twice I actually did, because I actually found it to be more rewarding to just make my own programs and come up with my own ideas. And so just taking these concepts and doing something like this is just one step. We're gonna keep going on that, right? So good stuff, good stuff. Making lines, filling in lines, right? So that's the comma B to make it a box, comma BF to make it a box fill. And so just like in the old days, just as in the old dot to dot days, you may often want to draw a line that begins at the last line's point, where in this case you may omit the starting point. The computer automatically starts where you left off. That's kind of cool, right? So I've already lost what program I'm supposed to be in, so they want me to change this program here, which I don't think I even did. I should have saved it because I'm an idiot. Delete line 30 through 900. I don't know what else I have here. So now we're going to go back to that original program. So in this case here, it was 25. Line 0, comma 0 through 255, comma 1, 255, comma 191, comma PSET. That was, and then line 30 is going to be line 0, comma 191, which is the bottom left, through 255, comma 0, comma PSET, list. Line 40s go to 40. Let's make sure we have that original program. Let's run it. Okay, we have that. Let me save this as X, because I'm probably going to need this again, right? So that's the original program before I went all crazy and went all over the place. All right, now it's asking us to do what? Now it's wanting me to do a line 35. So in line 35, I'm going to just say line through. I'm not going to specify the starting point. I'm going to specify the ending point. And now I'm going to say 191, comma 0, comma PSET. 191 is the ending point, and because it's X, comma Y, 191 is kind of towards the end. And so as it goes to the, as it goes up here to this corner, I think it's going to then go over about to right there, if I'm understanding where those coordinates are. Let's find out right now. Yeah, it did. It kind of went over to the left, right? So we told it where to end up, which was at 255, comma 0. And the computer remembers where it left off. And so now we don't have to specify a starting point. We can just specify the ending point. So you omit the starting coordinates and you just do dash ending coordinates, and it just goes from there. So it says line 20 draws a line from 0 to 0. Line 30 draws another one. Regardless of whether or not you included the start point, you must precede the end point with a hyphen or a dash. Okay, so how about dropping a line? Take another look at your program you just created, that just created the intersecting lines. So line 30 is line this, line 35 is line that. From your experience with turning on and off dots in chapter 14, do you have any idea what the PSET parameters is going to do, what would happen if we change it to a preset? Try it and see. Change preset in line 25, change PSET in line 25 to preset. So in line 25, I'm going to edit 25. I'm going to spacebar my way over here. And so now I have P, and I'm going to hit Insert, type in RE, and hit Enter. I've now changed PSET to Preset. Now, if you've guessed the orange line would disappear, you were right. Yes, that orange line has disappeared. Now replace PSET in 30 with Preset, and your screen went blank, right? The reason why is that Preset and Preset work in a line statement. So if we list line 30 and we edit 30, 99 space takes me to the end, back up 1, insert RE, enter, preset. Now when I run this, we've erased them, but we still have that one little thing in the corner there, right? So preset, the way you can erase a pixel is you can also erase a line. So preset is a way to just reset it to the background color. Another way would just be to change the color to the background color as well. So preset sets the line in the pre-specified foreground color. Preset sets the line back to the pre-specified background color so you can't see it. Now the question becomes, how do we set our foreground and background colors? The PSET and preset parameters in a line statement are not the same as the PSET and preset statements discussed in Chapter 14. They only apply to, they do not specify a dot or color code. They merely specify that the line is to be foreground or background color. Okay, so you can't change the color of the line using the line statement. Before proceeding, change the preset parameters back to PSET, and then we're going to do the box commands, which I kind of sort of already did, but we'll do them again. We're going to follow the book. All right, so I'm going to edit line 25 and do 99 space to get to the end. I'm going to go right here where these are. I'm going to hit number 2 and D to delete 2 characters. Boom, that's done. I'm going to do the same thing for line 30. 99 space, get to the end, back up to the P, number 2, D to delete 2 characters, boom, done. All right, so we got that back. Now it says, as the program creates 2 orange lines that intersect in the center, delete line 30 and add the suffix B to line 25. So let me just run it again. There's our thing. I'm thinking they have forgotten that we have that little thing on the end there that kind of goes over, so I'm going to delete line 35. All right, so now it says delete line, as the program creates 2 orange intersections in the dots, delete line 30, which creates the second line, so we'll get rid of line 30, and then modify line 25 to add a comma B at the end. So I do edit 25, 99 space gets me to the end, I for insert, comma B, enter. As I list that out, I'm now starting in the left-hand corner, going over to the right-hand corner and making it a box. There we go. There's our box with our orange border. My border is very close to the edge here. Actually, let's make this big. Right? Here's my big orange border. Isn't it beautiful? This color orange, it's not a terrible color orange, but when you start mixing like the purple that they call magenta and the cyan, when you start getting all 3 of these colors together, they don't really contrast well. They don't really separate well. I found this color mode very hard on the eyes, but a handful of games actually use this quite well. Puyan did a great job of using this color mode. Christmas Rush, John Linville did a great job of doing this. I think the orange was the, I don't remember what color the snowmen were. I think the snowmen actually were orange. And so there are a few games that did this, that did an okay job with this color mode. But for the most part, this color mode wasn't used very often because it wasn't very pleasing to the eye. So there's our line, comma B, which makes it a box. So we just did that. So there's our line with a box, to be or not to be. So we did a line, comma B. Let me go back here where I can see the book a little bit bigger. All right. Did you box yourself in? Yes, we did. Now here's a do-it-yourself program. Write a program that creates a box with a pair of lines intersecting in the center. We'll tell you why these are the only available colors when we discuss P mode and screen in the next 2 chapters. Write a program that creates a box with a pair of lines intersecting in the center. We'll tell you why these are the only two ones, only two available colors when we discuss P mode and screen in the next two chapters. So write a program that creates a box with a pair of intersecting lines in the center. All right, so here's what I'm going to do because I'm lazy. I'm going to look at my directory. I'm going to X. I'm going to load my X program. I'm going to load the original program. And here it is. This is my original program that drew the X. So write a program that creates a box with a pair of lines intersecting in the center. Technically, there's lines that intersect in this center already. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw a box around this. So how about we do that right now? So I've already got my X. I'm going to do a line 35. And I'm going to say line 0, 0 through 255, 191, PSET, B. And now when I run this, yes, I screwed that one up. Edit 35, space, 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 insert, left parentheses, enter. Let's try it again. Okay, now I've got a box with my intersecting lines. I'm not exactly sure if that's what it's asking me for, but that's the best I feel like doing right now because I'm lazy. All right, now it says here, fill it up. We're almost at the end of the line, so pun intended. So let's try to finish. If you refer to the format of line, you can see that we have the option of adding an F, the optional and to the optional suffix B. F allows you to fill in the box with the foreground color. Change line 25 that drew the box. Now, what program are you on, dude? You keep changing programs on me, and I don't know what the hell you are doing to me. But we did an optional program. I'm going to get rid of that one. Okay. Now, go to line 25. Go to the end. Insert, BF. I think that's what it's asking me to do. Change line 25 that starts in this corner here and goes to that corner over there. And then not only am I going to make it a box, but I'm going to fill in the frickin' box. So let's try that and see if that works. And yes, that took a while to fill in, but we just filled in a box that happened to be the whole freaking screen, right? So when you create a line, the line can be just a straight line between 2 points. The line can be a box that is drawn between those two corners, and then that box can also be filled in. So the line command is a very flexible command for getting visual things on the screen. Kind of cool. That's color with a capital C, capital O, Captain. What the hell are you talking? Capital C, capital O, like okay, whatever. In chapter 14, we explained how to use the C parameter in PSET command to change the color of a dot. But we've also been talking for some time about foreground and background colors. Now it's time to explain them further. Thank you. All right. Naturally, if you're using one color heavily, you don't want to have to specify it each time you put something on the screen. With the color feature, you don't have to. With certain limits, the graphics feature color lets you set the foreground and background colors, and it says see P mode and screen later in this book. Here's the format: color space foreground, background. So the foreground color is one of the 4 available colors. The background color is one of the 4 available background colors. What the basic guide is having us do to keep the color numbers consistent is the way they're ordered. Technically, color 5 is white in this mode here, so it's going to be 5, 6, 7, and 8. Those are our 4 colors. So 5 is the background color of white. 6 is whatever this, and orange is the last one. I forget which two happen in the middle. So they're allowing you to use some absolute numbering for colors that are actually kind of relative. Here it even tells you. So in this color mode here, the colors that are available are 5 for buff, which is the white background. Cyan is 6, which is your kind of sky bluish color. Magenta is 7, which is the purplish color, and orange is 8. So there we have it. So when we don't specify the foreground and background colors, your computer automatically chooses the highest number available color code for the foreground color and the lowest number available color code for the background color. The lines programs are orange for the foreground, which is color 8, and buff or white for the background, which is color 5. See color in action. Call on lines again. Dude, you are killing me with this. So call on lines again. These were the two different colors, right? So let me just load my X program. All right, let me make sure my X program matches what's going on here. So we have P mode 1, 1, PCLS screen, 1 and 25 does this, 30 does that, 40 does that, right? So let's do this. Let's run it. There's my X. Okay, so that's the X program. That's the one it wants me to do. Now let's do this. Now it's saying let's add these cray colors here. Let's go into adding a line 6 that says color 5, 7. So I'm going to add line 6, color 5, 7. Now 5 is white. So we're basically setting white as the foreground color, and 7 is magenta, which is kind of your purpley color here. So now when I run this program here and I run it again, ooh, white on purple. That actually looks kind of cool. I can actually see this graphics mode being kind of cool as purple, since we don't have black. What about purple as a background color mode for some games? That might be interesting. Speaking of another game that did really good job in using the limited 4 colors at a time on the Coco, Polaris, one of the earliest games for the Coco, which was like a missile command clone. It took the 4 colors in the 2 modes, but it just alternated the way those colors could be used. So it really did a good job of exploiting the 4 colors in as many ways as possible, and kind of achieving a similar effect to what Atari could do by just changing the palette registers of given colors. I like this. I like white on purple. For some reason, I actually find this color pleasing. And I don't say that very often about this color mode here. That is pretty cool. Now it says, do you want to see what other colors look like if when reverse? Then we could do purple on white. So if I change line 6 to say color 7, 5, and I run that, now I have purple on white. I think I like the white on purple better, honestly. But that's interesting. That's giving me some ideas and maybe something to do with the game. Maybe I'll force myself to make a game using this really crappy color mode here that I've never been fond of. I'll find a way to make it work in a somewhat pleasing way. That's kind of cool. All right. Now, do-it-yourself program 15-2. Ready to do your own lines program? Can you build a house? Start with line 5, 10, and 20 of the other lines program and take it from there. Be sure to add a front door, of course, at least one window, and a chimney. Your overall design is up to you. It wants us to do a program to make a house. So we're going to try that, right? So do-it-yourself is making a house. You should. This should be a real challenge to you. As you know, a straight line is the shortest distance between 2 points, but let's put extra miles between the 2 points. Use line to draw a crooked line. You know the straight line is the shortest distance between 2 points. Well, let's put a few extra miles between our 2 points. Use line to draw a crooked line. To get started, you could use line 5, 10, and 20 from the lines program. So you want to try to make a house? Learned in Chapter 15, line and color. Let's try to make a house for craps and giggles here. And I'm not even exactly sure how I'm going to do this right now, but we're going to go ahead and try it right now. We're going to just get rid of line 6. We're going to get rid of line we're going to get rid of lines 25 through 99. So I'm going to do a line 500 that just says go to 500. That's going to be my ending program right now. So right now I have nothing. So I'm going to be thinking out loud right now. Let's do this. So I know that my absolute center is 128 and 96. So actually, let me let the computer do the math for me. I'm going to incorporate a lot of different things here. So we're going to say, okay, center X equals 128, center Y equals 96. Let's start with that. And then I want to go off, I don't know how many boxes from each. Let's just say we're going to go 32 pixels in each direction to make our starting house. So we'll do a line 40. We're going to say line, first we're going to change the color. I like color 7. Actually, we're going to even go back one further because I liked the color 5, 7. So I'm going to go back to that line there, color 5, 7. All right, so right now that's just that. Okay, so what I've done right here is I've calculated the center of the screen, and I'm going to use that number to work my way out. So in line 40, I'm going to say line center X minus 32, comma, center Y minus 32 through center X plus 32, comma, center Y plus 32, comma, B. So I'm taking those center coordinates, I'm going away 32 pixels in both directions on one side, and I'm going forward 32 pixels in both directions on the other side. What is your freaking problem, dude? What did I mess up here? Line center X minus 32, kind of center 1 through center X plus 32, kind of center Y, kind of 32, kind of PSET, comma B. All right, edit 40. All right, comma PSET. Delete that. Insert PSET, comma B. All right, let's list that out. Let's run that. All right, there's the box to my house. I think that house needs to be bigger, right? And by the way, the little white border you see here that's very small, that is actually part of a much larger buffer border you would have seen on a normal television. So let's edit that. Let's edit line 40. And let's change the 64. Let's change this to 48. Change 8. Oh, crap. What am I doing? Oh, crap. Let's hit reset. Let me reset my program. Oh, you suck. Oh, I just lost freaking everything. Oh, my Lord. All right, this is working out real good, isn't it? All right. Okay. Delete 25 through 99. List. All right. 500. Go to 500. Okay, so line 30. Center X equals 128. Center Y equals 96. Okay. Line 40. We're going to say line center X minus. We're going to do a 40, comma center Y minus 40 through center X plus 40, comma center Y plus 40, comma PSET, comma B for box. Let's run that. Syntax error in 40. Oh, I suck. Hold on a second here. All right, let's edit line 40. All right, let's go back one. After 40, I gotta do an insert, right parentheses, list that. All right, so line 40 should say line CX, center X minus 40, center Y minus 40 through center X plus 40 through center Y plus 40, comma PSET, comma B. All right, so now if we run it, Here's our house in the middle of the screen. That's the box of the house. So how do I draw a roof on this right now? I need to go up. Ooh, okay, let me see if I can do this in my head right now. All right, so now what are we gonna do to do our roof? So line 50 is gonna be line center CX minus 40 comma CY minus 40 through CX comma, which is the actual center, and then I want to go up 20 CY minus 60 comma PSET comma B, just comma PSET. Let's see if my calculations are correct. Boom, there's the top of my thing. What the hell did I just do here in that line command? The next line said start right where the top left hand corner of the house was, which is the minus 40 minus 40. That's where we started our house. Now I'm going to go to CX, which is the absolute X center, and then I'm going to do CY minus 60, which is actually 20 higher than that. I think it can be taller. Let's edit line 50. Let's space our way all the way over here, and let's change the 60 to an 80. Let's hit C8, enter, and let's try that. Okay, that is pretty much a perfect triangle, part of a perfect triangle, right? Now, if memory serves, the computer is going to remember exactly where we were. So I don't have to specify the starting location. In line 60, I can just say line through. So now I'm all the way up here. So now I need to go back to CX plus 40 comma CY minus 40 comma PSET. I think that'll do it. There it is. Boom. Here's my house. There's my roof. Now, that's the house. What am I doing here is I'm too lazy to figure out where these numbers are and look on a piece of graph paper or just to guess. So I'm letting the computer do some math by starting in the center and working its way out just by adding or subtracting things to that center coordinate. So now I need to draw a door in the middle. I also need to do 2 windows. So let's do a couple of windows. 70. So I went up 40, over 40. What do I want to do there? This is now really going to blow my freaking mind right now. So we're going to do, okay, line, okay, CX minus 30, comma, CY minus 30 through, okay, CX minus 20, comma, CY minus 20, comma, PSET, comma, B. Let's see if my logic here is right. Okay, there's one of my crappy little windows. I'm being real lazy right now. So what I just did is I said, all right, go over 30 pixels for my starting point and then go over 20 pixels for my ending point. So I'm in a smaller quadrant of that one. For my next window, I can just do the opposite of that. I can say line CX plus 30, comma, plus 20, comma, CY plus 20 through, I'm not sure if my logic here is right, CX plus 30, comma, CY plus 30, comma, PSET, comma, B. Let's see if that's going to work. Oh my God. No. What am I doing wrong? The X is right, but the Y is wrong. Okay. So the CY still needs to be minus, I think. Okay, so let's edit 80. Trying to think out loud here, which is always okay, hit C for minus. CY, C for minus. Let's try this again. There we go. All right. So as we go further down the rabbit hole, first thing I'm doing is I'm drawing a big box that is 40 pixels in every direction from the thing. Actually, let's do this. Let's put some comments. 35 rem. Drawing 40 pixels from center in both directions. Okay. That's line, okay, line, that's, okay, so that's line 40 does that. So now line 45, remark, draw left half of roof. Okay, line 50 does that. Line 55 is rem, draw right half of roof. All right, so we're doing all those remarks. Okay, line 65 is going to remark line 70, which is draw left window. Okay, and then line 75 is going to remark line 80, which is rem draw right window. As I'm doing this, what's wrong? Okay, line 55, edit 55, insert M, REM, great band from the 90s. All right, run. Type mismatch in 65. Screw you, 65. Edit 65. I got to put the word rem in there. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, so here's absolute center. My first command says go 40 pixels up and 40 pixels over, start my box. And then it says go 40 pixels over and 40 pixels down and end my box. So this is drawing the house. That was my first command. The next one says go 40 pixels over and 40 pixels up, and that's where we started our box. And then I said draw a line to absolute center X and Y minus 40. So I'm now going 40 pixels up. Now, since the computer remembered where we were, then we're drawing a line over to center plus 40 and center X plus 40, center Y minus 20, I think, because Y minus 40 still, yeah, Y minus 40. And so that completed that. And then what I did is I said, all right, well, if I went over 40, let me go from position 20 to position 30. And that puts me kind of like right in the middle of this box here. And I did a similar thing here. I said, let me go over here to 20 over and then 30 over. So that gives me my block of 10 pixels wide. So here's my two windows. Now what I need to do is I need to draw a door in the center. And I'm going to make that door a solid color, and I'll do it in a different color, which is, I think it was color 7 is my final color. So what do I have to do here is I got to figure out where center is, which is here. And then I can probably just go over 10, over 5, and then down 20. I think that's what I need to do here. So I'm thinking out loud. Pardon me as I do this. So now I'm going to do line 85, rem, draw the door. Okay, so line 90 is going to be color 7, 7, 5. Okay. Actually, we'll make 85, rem, draw a purple door. Okay. So line 90 is color 7.5. Line 100 is going to be to draw. Got a crank collar there. Draw. So now I'm going to go. We're going to do center X minus 5, comma center Y plus 20 through center X plus 5, comma center Y plus 40. That should take us to the end. Comma PSET, comma BF for fill. Ooh, what did I do? Draw center X minus 5, comma center Y plus 20 through center X plus 5, center Y plus 40, comma PSET, comma B. What did it say my freaking error was? Where's my error? Error in line 100. Oh, I had said draw. Okay, it's not draw. Edit 100. It's actually line. So 4D to delete 4 characters. Insert LINE. Enter. I'm an idiot. Okay, I'm gonna line it. There we go. So not exactly symmetrical, but you get the idea. That was the do-it-yourself challenge, and I literally had to think of how I was going to do this as I was recording this. You could get out your graph book, or you could have a smarter brain than mine to know where these coordinates were and just do it yourself. But I chose to use some central variables and some math formulas to do a very calculated positioning based on where the middle of the screen is. But what I can say about this is that this is mathematically freaking awesome, and math is my least favorite thing. So that was our do-it-yourself program to draw a house. It says, do we want a front door, at least one window? Do we want a chimney? Do we want a chimney? Screw the chimney. Screw that chimney. Freeze to death. All right, so that was chapter 15. Whose line is it anyway? So we learned how to do a line, how to draw a line, how to erase a line, how to draw a box, how to fill in a box, and how to change the foreground and background colors. And so these things are coming back to me. It has been a long time since I've done this, but once again, I appreciate anybody who watches this video. Looking forward to some comments and some feedback on this. Let's do this. Let's save this as house. This old house. So we now have our house program. And if we're nostalgic, we can go back and load in our X program. We can run that. Here's our X program. You know, it just don't get no better than that. But you know what I need to do, though, is I need to run my house program. And I need to switch over to the big screen here, because I just need everybody to be able to soak this in and see how awesome this is, right? So this is my freaking house, people. I made this house. I made this house in BASIC using just the line command. Some lines were just straight lines. Some lines were boxes. Some lines were solid boxes. A little bit of everything. A little bit of something for all people of all ages. And this has been the continuing journey on programming in BASIC on the Tandy Color computer. I am OG Stevie Stroh. Love to hear what you think about this. Make sure you throw out those comments. If you're new to my channel, smash that subscribe button. If you think anybody else in the world is crazy enough to find this interesting or even amusing, then do me a favor and share it. Share out this video, share out this playlist, share my channel with your friends. Help spread the joy of programming on a retro 8-bit system. We got more games to do, or more chapters to do, more graphics to do. I might take a break now because this is 2 in a row in one day, and my head can explode. My head often does explode.